So actually, we did pretty good. Hey, everybody, we're here, Amazing Grace Sports Network. You're here with Eric James and Clay Morris on another Tuesday, NBA Tuesday, where we talk about the scores that went on in the NBA last night, and of course, the Eastern Conference, what's going on and the standings there. We're going to start you off with a game that ended with no time left on the clock. The Los Angeles Lakers playing at home, mind you. They didn't have to go anywhere. They didn't have to travel across the country like the team that they played, the Indiana Pacers. They played the Indiana Pacers, and they lost. They lost. Mr. James, tell me how this happens. How can this happen to the Fakers?
You calling them Fakers? Really?
The Fakers.
They had no legs, man. The legs ran out.
Legs ran out.
They got tired of running up and down the court and not getting the ball.
Now, if I'm right, they had that team by 17 points.
They did.
I think with 5 minutes to go.
That's it. And the young legs must endure. The young legs must endure. They had no more legs, no more. They weren't running hard no more.
Jalen Smith, he never scores any points for the Indiana Pacers. He had 9. Aaron Nesmith had 16. Miles Turner had 15. Tyrese Halliburton 24, and Buddy Hyde had 15. And on the other hand, for the Lakers, why don't you give us what they had?
Wait a minute, hold on. Don't forget about Benedict McThurn. He hit 23.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
23.
He brought him up with 23. The bench scored, let's see, 23, 35, 37. They scored 37 points, so they did pretty good, and they were on the road. And we're not even going to mention the guy who hit the game-winning three-pointer over LeBron with no time left on the clock. We'll mention that later. Why don't you give me a rundown on who had what for the Los Angeles, whatever name you want to call them?
Let's see. For Los Angeles, we had Davis. He played 37 minutes, 25 points. LeBron
25
James,
points.
21 points. LeBron James.
Yep.
Troy Brown did 3 points. Okay.
Right.
Dennis Schroeder.
Our friend Dennis Schroeder.
8 points.
Mr. Green or yellow streak in the hair, Schroeder.
Walker. Let's see. Lonnie Walker, 9 points.
9 points.
But my man Westbrook, 24 points.
You know what?
24 points. 27
and
minutes.
He did it.
24
with,
minutes.
Let's see. 10 for 18 shooting. Pretty effective. Pretty efficient. Pretty effective.
Not bad.
So the big hole, or the black hole, as we're going to say, was LeBron James. Because LeBron James was 8 for 22 and 3 for 10 from the three-point line. And, he always likes to hang it up in the air like this. Let me show you what LeBron does. Take a look. He holds it like he's posing every time when he shoots his three.
And what would your coach do back in college and high school? What would we do when you see you doing that?
He would sat me down.
Keep that pose. You go stand over there and you hold that pose.
Yeah, you better hold it, but you better make it. You keep missing it like that, and you'll be sitting down, buddy. After about my 5th one of missing, he would have said, sub. Grab somebody right off the bench and send him in and say, get this guy out of here. Get him out of here. LeBron James, 3 for 10 from the three-point line, 8 for 22. And you said the guy is Nebhard?
Yep.
Andrew Nebhard.
29 minutes, 12 points.
And 12 points.
Game-winning shot.
It was a game-winning shot over LeBron James on the left side of the court with no time left on the clock. It was over.
When he shot that ball, where was LeBron at?
LeBron was running at him.
He was on his way to the 3-point line.
He was supposed to be guarding him.
He was on his way to the 3-point line. So he had no legs, man.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what happened with the Los Angeles Lakers playing the Indiana Pacers, and the Lakers are still below 500 at 7-12. So they have won a couple of games, like beating up on teams like Houston Rockets or something. Game number 2, the Phoenix Suns at the Sacramento Kings. Now, this was a barn burner. It was a very good game, but you have a guy named Devin Booker for the Phoenix Suns who is off the chain. I think he scored 70 points in the Boston Garden about 3 or 4 years ago. And there's a reason for that. This guy, he had 44 points. 44 points.
Yeah.
17 for 28 shooting.
You got to leave them 3-pointers alone, though.
Yeah, you got to leave those 3-pointers. If he left those 3-pointers alone, his field goal average would rise about 25 points because he was only 1 for 6 from 3-point.
Yeah.
1 for 6. So that accounted for 5 of his misses. He should have just stayed away from those. So let's see. Ayton had 17. Miles Bridges had 13, but it was really Booker with his 24. 15 from the bench. Lamel Shamet. He's still going. He's always a good player. And for Sacramento, they finally have taken DeAndre Fox off the point. Yeah. They have Malik Monk bringing up the ball now, which is a good thing because Malik actually can distribute the ball. He can put the ball on the ground. He can score. He can shoot over someone, and he can distribute it. Something DeAndre Fox had a big problem with. He was thinking shot first.
You know what? Another thing about Monk, he played 30 minutes and hit 30 points. So he hit a point every minute he's been on that floor.
You can't say enough about this guy. He's on it. You know what?
12 for 17.
12 for 17.
But you imagine 30 points, 30 minutes. How does that happen?
It happens because he's a good player. They got him coming off the bench.
Yeah.
They got him coming off the bench, bringing the ball up when he is on the court. 30 points in 30 minutes, 12 for 17. 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 for 5 from the. 2 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Malik Monk gets our Player of the Night award if Andrew Nebhard doesn't hit that 3-pointer in LeBron's face for the game winner. when LeBron should have been covering the dude, knowing they need a 3-pointer. 2-pointer is not going to do anything. You got to be out close to, you got to be out close to this guy. You can't just let him stand out there by himself.
Maybe you're thinking he's not going to make it.
He's not going to make it. Oh,
he made it.
Oh, he made it. Game number 3, Chicago Bulls at the Utah Jazz. What do we have here?
Chicago Bulls.
Well, Chicago, I don't even know if we announced that game that we just did. Okay. Phoenix Suns won 122 to 117. So you got that. 122 to 117. Now we're with the Bulls and the Jazz, and the Chicago Bulls defeated the Utah Jazz in Utah 114 to 107. Yes.
Yeah, they played Patrick Williams.
Yes, they went to Utah. They went to Utah, Salt Lake City. I think it's the only city in Utah. And man, yeah, isn't it?
I've never been to Utah. So I don't know.
Neither. I've never been to Utah, but I'm going to go one day just so I can say I was there. DeMar DeRozan, the guy that the Lakers or Fakers could have had 26 points. Vucevic had 16, and Zach LaVine lit it up with 20. 7 for 20 shooting. Now, this is what I don't get about Zach LaVine. He wants to be paid as a big-time superstar, but he puts up numbers like 7 for 20.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. 7 for 20. What are you going to do when you do that?
Oh, no.
Andrew Drummond had 8. Andre Drummond, the big 7-foot guy who always disappears. Yeah. He was out there for 22 minutes. He was 3 for 5 in field goals and put up 8 points. Chicago still managed to win despite all that because Kelly Olynyk, he had 23. Lauri Markkanen had 32. Lauri bounced back. But what happened to the rest of the team? Colin Sexton had 17. The rest of the team just didn't show up. That was that. Let's move on to the Houston Rockets against the Denver Nuggets. And Houston is the worst team in the league right now. So we can guess what happened. Yeah, if you took Houston in 25 points. Guess what? You lost. No, you took Houston to 15 points. You lost. Playing in Denver, the Denver Nuggets beat them 129 to 113.
They was on their way. They was on their way.
They were on their way where?
Yeah, I don't know, but they were on their way.
Yeah, well, they're still on their way somewhere. We're not sure where. And I'm not sure we even need to talk about Houston at this point because, I have nothing against the city, but this team has only won 5 games. The Lakers have won more games than Houston. Really?
They're in the rebuilding stage.
Yeah. How long ago did James Harden leave that team? They've been rebuilding it ever since.
They still try to get it right.
Yeah, but don't get him back. James Harden, you don't want him back right now. Leave him right where he's at.
Well, James is
the Denver Nuggets.
way out in.
Yeah, he is. Aaron Gordon only scored 4. I'm the only Brown. Brown was with the Nuggets. He was the one holding that team together last year when the Celtics were croaking the Nuggets. He tried to put out something out there. This guy Brown, is that the guy? No, because he's a guard. Well, anyway, I got the wrong guy. I do know Nikola Jokic, the center, and he had 32. Jamal Murray had 31. He's a shooter. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope had 8.
That was Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown for the Nets.
Yeah.
Pretty good player.
Nuggets,
Scrappy.
Yeah.
Scrappy. I liked him a lot. Let's see. They got 25, 33.
Magic came off the bench with 15.
44 points from the bench. And that put the Nuggets over big time. It's like, as if they really needed it playing the Houston Rockets, huh? Well, I don't think that's going to change for the rest of the season. The rest of the season, people are going to look forward to playing the Rockets. This could be the game that we could win. Game number 5, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder traveling to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. This was an interesting game.
Yeah, right down to the wire.
Right down to the wire. The New Orleans Pelicans, yes, New Orleans, you have a team again. Did you ever have no, this is the first time they've really had a good team. Well, they won 105 to 101. And this experiment of letting Zion Williamson bring up the ball and be a point guard might not be a bad idea. And I watched it. The guy got handled. Listen, Eric, the guys got handled. I'm telling you, the guys got handled. And once he gets he's got some speed and quickness to him too. They try to put somebody else out there on him, like another big guy. He's going to go right past him.
That's the thing. If he got speed, a big guy ain't gonna do.
Right. He's got too much speed, and they can't put a little guy on him. He'll just walk into the hoop. Yeah. So they have something going there. I like what they got going. Also, they got Brandon Ingram and a couple of other guys there. Ingram didn't play last night. I think he's out injured. But they got Valanciunas, another good player. Herb Jones. This guy, he has a lot of energy. Alvarado and Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy was pretty good. He hit a lot of 3-pointers. Brought him into it. Herman Gomez. So he's out there good. So keep an eye on the Pelicans, everybody. If you can get a game, if ESPN carries them or somehow you're able to see a game with the Pelicans, you might want to watch them. They're gonna surprise you. They got some good shooters. They got a lot of good hustlers. And Williamson has trimmed his weight down. He's like a Charles Barkley. Okay, let me put it this way. He's like a Charles Barkley.
With the
handle. He can't shoot from the outside yet. But with his handle, he can create a lot of problems for a guy his size.
Yeah, you got to keep working on it.
That's what he should do. Now, let's go back up the chart. Game number 6. This was an interesting game. The Orlando Magic, who are the worst team in the league along with Houston. Houston's the worst team in the West, and Orlando is the worst team in the East. They both have won just 5 games. They traveled to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving is back, and Ben Simmons. Now, Eric, could you do me a favor? Tell me how many points did Ben Simmons score in this game?
Come on, you mess with my man Ben again.
I'm just interested.
He played 11 minutes
Yeah.
and he scored 0 points.
I didn't hear that. Let me see.
Yeah, 11 minutes. He played more minutes than he scored. Let's put it like that.
he didn't do a Malik Monk. He didn't get a point a minute. Matter of fact, he didn't get any points.
Well, he did the opposite. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I could do that. They could get my 63-year-old carcass out there to run up and down the court for 11 minutes and not score any points.
Yeah.
They could pay. Listen, whatever they're paying him, they could pay both of us. Just split his salary in two,
and we'll be happy.
And we could go out there and duplicate that performance. As a matter of fact, almost every living human being can walk out there and do what Ben Simmons just did.
Yeah, I don't know. Jesus Christmas. I don't know.
I do.
Maybe he's doing something else.
I need to go talk to the Brooklyn Nets because they just have a circus for a team. And I wouldn't mind just going up and court for 30. I'll even give advice out there, like spiritual guidance. While I'll do something different. I'll make you, you paying me worth something. You won't just be getting no points. You'll be getting something else. Guidance or maturity or something. Anyway, the Brooklyn Nets won 109 to 102. Because
Kevin scored 45 points.
Because Kevin Durant had 45 points. On get this, 19 for 24 shooting.
Not bad.
Not bad.
He hit almost everything he threw up.
19 for 24 shooting. He shot the ball 24 times. He only missed 5 times.
Yep. My man, Kevin.
Whew. Man. What a team wouldn't give to have a guy like that.
Hey, and Ben Simmons only got 4 rebounds. I was trying to find something that he did well. He got 4 rebounds.
He got 4 rebounds?
Yeah. He had 3 assists.
Oh.
Okay. I will leave him alone.
You're trying hard.
I'm sorry.
I see your next job. You're going to be Ben Simmons' agent.
Call me up, Ben. I got you, man. I got you.
Ben, you can't go wrong. This guy's going to fight for you tooth and nail. Every rebound, every half a rebound, every fraction of a rebound that you could have had, probably should have had, he's going to record as a possibility. He's going to bring it up on the charts. And next thing you know, he's going to put 4 or 5 of those together. You actually have a whole rebound. So you'll be getting rebounds that you didn't know you had. And when you present that to the owners, you're going to look like a made man. Made man, I'm going to tell you. Now, the Magic's problem is that they're just too darn young. They don't know what they're doing at all out there. So good luck. Save them for next year. Game number 7. The Cleveland Cavaliers at the Toronto Raptors. And if you took the Cleveland Cavaliers in 11 points, you lost. There's a reason for that, though. I mean, they were traveling. They were on the road. They went to Toronto, and they ran into Pascal Siakam, who had 18. Thaddeus Young, our old friend who was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers way back. Thaddeus Young had 10. OG Anunoby had 20. And Van Vliet had 13. Not to mention, they got over 30 points, close to 40 points from their bench, winning the game 100 to 88. Not much can be said for, my man who was MVP candidate of the year, Donovan Mitchell, only had 8 points. From there, it just goes downhill.
Somebody else.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Evan Mobley had 18. And Darius Garland had 18. And other than that, everyone else crapped out in that game. They rolled snake eyes. At least Donovan didn't go crazy. He was 3 for 11. So I guess after he kept missing shots, he just started trying to pass the ball. He didn't jack it up to 18, 20 times trying to score. He didn't have it last night. So something must be said for that. On the other side, Toronto Raptors are 11-9. Cleveland is 13-8. And the beat goes on. We move on to the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Washington Wizards. Game number 8 on the night. There were 10 games last night. Now, anyone want to guess who won this game? Because the Timberwolves are a pretty good team. I mean, they were in the quarterfinals last year in the West. And they're going against the Wizards, who absolutely were dogs last year. But if you took Minnesota in 14 points, you lost. Because Washington Wizards beat them by 15, 142-127, a high-scoring game, and the Wizards took them to town and to task. How did they do this?
Yeah, they put some work in. They put some work in.
Who's that big, tall guy from Russia? He was drafted by Dallas, went to New York. Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis had 41 points. 12 for 18.
31 minutes, 41 points.
12 for 18 shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kevin Durant.
Wow.
Kevin Durant only missed 5 shots. This guy only missed 6.
He missed 6. Wow.
Oh my gosh. 6 for 10 from 3-point land. 7-foot guy. Hey, you got it going on. Kyle Kuzma, who a guy we knew had talent and was going to be a star in this league, that LA Lakers couldn't wait to get rid of in order to get Russell Westbrook, had 23. It doesn't take much to see why teams are losers, when they make trades like this. Fresh young legs, put them on the bench. Fresh young legs, ship them off to get some guy who's 32 or 3 years old.
They ain't me no harm.
Okay. Marcus Morris or Marquise Morris, I forget which one. No, this is the point guard Morris. He had 7. And Brad Beal had 22. 9 for 14 shooting.
Yeah. Bradley came off the bench.
Brad?
He came off the bench and gave.
No.
Did he?
No. Somebody came off the bench, but no. They had 10, 11, 9, 20, 36, 40 points from the bench. 41 points. 41 points off the bench. The Washington Wizards did. But the funny thing is Minnesota Timberwolves had 50 points off the bench and lost. So anything is possible in the NBA.
Wow.
Porzingis, though, 41, not looking back. He doesn't miss his days with the Knicks or Dallas.
He was unstoppable last night. He played his butt off.
2 years ago, he was down in Dallas with Luka, but Luka didn't like passing the ball then or now. So Kristaps said, "Hasta la vista, baby."
Good move. He's doing well.
We do have 2 more games. Let's get to them. What do we got here? The Atlanta Hawks at the Philadelphia 76ers. And guess what, everybody? Joel Embiid was back. And when Joel Embiid was back, Philadelphia usually wins, and they did so this time. 104-101 over the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta is one of those teams that will break your heart. One day they look like world beaters. The next day they look like they can't hit a ball in the ocean. Well, what do we have here?
Well, they weren't that far off. They only lost by 3 points, man.
Yeah, but they
don't beat them up that bad. Jesus Christmas. Collins.
Well, Philadelphia was at home. We got to give them that. They were at home, so they had home court advantage. What's our man Trae Young? What did he do? Trae Young was 18 points, 6 for 14. He didn't go crazy shooting. It looks like he tried to pass the ball. John Collins, 13. DeAndre Hunter had 18. Clint Capella, my man Clint, 4 for 9. Oh, he had a terrible night. 10 points. Trae had 18. DeJounte Murray had 17. And they had 4 did not play coaches' decisions, which I don't understand. Play some of these guys. Take some of the load off your veterans. You lost the game anyway.
Holiday chipped in for 16 points, so he was trying.
He was trying. They have another Holiday out there. I think that's another brother. He was a do not play. But they only had 25 points from the bench. That doomed them. You can't keep running your starters out like that.
They didn't.
On the other hand, Philadelphia, Tobias Harris had 0.
24.
No, PJ Tucker had 0. Tobias
PJ
Harris
Tucker
had
had
24.
20 there,
There's an interesting person on this,
30.
Shake Milton. And I didn't know, I first read his name and I'm like, Shake Milton? What kind of player can this guy be? He's a pretty good player. If you can get Shake Milton, if you can price Shake Milton away from the 76ers, do it. Shake Milton was 9 for 20, it looks like. 21 points.
21 for 1 on 3. Yeah.
Stop shooting the threes, Shake. You're not that good at it.
Practice.
Yeah, practice, son, practice. Well, let's get on to the marquee game of the day. And I think the highest scoring game of the day. Actually, it wasn't
Boston
because
Celtics.
The Boston Celtics.
Yeah. No, well, the Wizards hit 142. Celtics hit 140.
Wizards hit 142. But if you took the Charlotte Hornets and 30 points, you lost. Let's put it that way. I guess it's the biggest score differential. If you took the Charlotte Hornets and 30 points, you lost because the Celtics beat them 140 to 105. The Boston Celtics beat the Charlotte Hornets. The NBA's greatest player is the owner, Michael Jordan. His team lost. Jeez. About 35 points. What can be said about that? What can we say in defense of Mike?
They're on their way.
I think I've heard that before. You said that a couple of times tonight. They're on their way. Are they on their way to the bottom or are they on their way to the top?
They can't go to the bottom now.
They are going to the bottom.
They're down there.
They're at the bottom. They're one game away from the bottom. I mean, because Detroit's at the bottom, and there's another team that's at the bottom. They've only won 5 games. In Charlotte, they've only won 6. So, the Magic, Orlando Magic, they've only won 5 also. Charlotte has only won 6 games in 21 tries.
What do you think about Blake Griffin? I think I was very impressed with him last night. I think he was impressed with himself last night because the ball moved so much. He was so excited. He didn't know what to do. He even got an alley-oop in there. He's like, oh, okay, all right.
They were playing the Hornets.
That's all right. It was a good practice, brother. Good practice.
It was like a scrimmage or something.
The starters came out in the third quarter. The starters came out in the third quarter.
Yeah. Blake Griffin, he was a do not play. Yeah, I mean the game before, which was yesterday, I believe. I think they did it back to back, and they sat him out with good reason. The guy, he's not as old as Al, but Al's in better shape, and I don't think he can take the pounding. Al's older.
So? I know he's older, but you think Al's in better shape than Blake?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And Blake's knees are gone. I mean, he looked all right last night in limited minutes. I mean, but he was with Brooklyn 2 years ago, and then he was with Detroit 2 years before that. He's got some mileage on him. His body broke down. Different bodies, different things. So I think Al has been much more durable than Blake Griffin has been. Blake Griffin, his drop-off was astronomical. He was once a 20-point scorer, 24 points a game. Yeah. Now he's just a big body. He can box out. He can get you some rebounds, and he might get you an alley-oop once in a while like he did last night.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, they got a good pickup. You got a good pickup in him. Let's see who led the Celtics. Who were the main scorers?
Who were the main? You had William Grant. I'll strike that. Jason Tatum for 35. Marcus Smart for 22.
Oh my God, Marcus
Malcolm
Smart.
Broderick for 21.
Marcus Smart. Why does his name keep popping up?
Because he did the job. He did the job.
Malcolm Brogdon had 21. Sam Hauser had 11. Nick Vonleh had 2. Where's Luke Cornett? Luke Cornett had 9. He was dunking everything.
He had a good game.
He had a good game. But they got another guy, this Mofongo Kabagele. He's a center. And there's a reason why they have him on this team. Because they don't know how far Blake Griffin's knees are going to take him deep into the season. Al, he said yesterday he couldn't play because he had a back injury. Nobody knows when Robert Williams is going to be back. So,
yeah.
Kabangele, Mofongo Kabangele is a
they
center.
Can run Blake. Mm-hmm. They can run Blake now, and there's other guy with 9 points. What's his name? Cornett.
Yeah, they're running Cornett out there.
They can run those two guys now and let Al and them take a rest.
Yeah,
they'll be all good right about All-Star break.
Yeah, they can run those two out there and let Kabangele get in there also, get some minutes too. Mm-hmm. He's a big 250 pounder. I think he's about 6'10", 250 pounds. Run him out there, let him get some work. Yeah, take up some fouls.
That's it.
Take up some space, and I mean the Celtics lead. What are they? 17-4. So they're leading in the standings here. And with this reason why we took the Celtics last, so we can just go right into the standings of the East Coast, the Eastern Conference of the NBA, of which the Celtics have stretched their lead 17-4 over the Milwaukee Bucks, who are 14-5. The Celtics are 9-1 in the last 10 games.
Yeah, they're cooking right now.
Cooking with the gas. Not with wood. They're cooking with gas, baby.
But again, they kind of up their game. They're going to the hole strong. They're moving the ball tremendously. I mean, last night I was like, "Oh, is this the same team?" I ain't watching, man.
They're moving the ball so good. They moved the ball so good. You think Blake Griffin could be a future center here on the team, right?
Man. You make him look like a star. That's why I say you can make everybody else look great if you just move the ball.
It does. Ball movement really, really helps out. I don't know. We all would like Blake Griffin I just take 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Because, it's much quicker. And you're going to be going against teams that do use a lot of movement. What I saw of Brooklyn is that they're starting to use a lot more movement. They played OKC early in the year. They used a lot of movement with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have a lot of moving pieces. The Pelicans, they have a lot of moving pieces also when their team is together. So they're going to need somebody who can play on the perimeter, get back, play in the perimeter. And that's where Al sometimes hurts you. He can play on the perimeter on offense, but when it comes to defense, he can't guard guys on defense. He's he presents himself. He goes out there. He makes an effort, but he's not a good defensive guy when it comes to playing the perimeter. He can't get out there fast enough, and he can't move his feet laterally. So it could be a problem going forward. They're going to need to develop somebody. I don't know if Robert Williams is going to come back healthy.
Really? It's real interesting that he hasn't been back yet. He must have either they're trying not to rush him back again like they did last year. He may not come back to after All-Star break, which would be good if he's getting better.
Right.
If he's not getting better, then you got problems.
They have problems. Okay, so we talked about the Boston Celtics. Let's go to the Milwaukee Bucks and our man Giannis Zeus Antetokounmpo. They're in second place. And their last 10, they are 5-5, so they are struggling. They're having some struggles without Chris Middleton. They've had some games where they could have won, but they didn't. They are 11-2 at home, 3-3 away. So they're doing darn great. The Celtics are 10-1 and 7-3 away. Milwaukee is 3-3 away, 4 in the division, 11-2 at home. They're hanging right in there. They have really good stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good stats. The last 10, they are 5-5 though. Then we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, where we see these teams having problems when it goes away, young teams. Cleveland is 8-1 at home. They've only lost one game in Cleveland, but away they are 5-7. Traveling is not their forte. Don't let these young guys out the house.
They ain't used to coming off their own block.
Yeah, well, they need to understand that the world is bigger than your block or your city. You're going to have to win some games on the road. And we see this again with the Indiana Pacers. Actually, Indiana's bad at home, and they're not great at home, and then they're not great away. 7-5, 7-4 at home, and 5-4 away. 7-5 at home. Now, when you don't defend your home, Cleveland's in there because they're defending their home court. But Indiana, they're not doing a good job of that. Philadelphia 76 is 7-5 at home, 5-4 away. But on the other hand, Toronto Raptors, 8-2 at home. That's why they're still in it. Pascal Siakam is back. OG Anunoby, Van Vliet, they know how to defend their home. They'll be there at the end. They'll be there. We got the Washington Wizards. Well, we forgot to mention about Toronto Raptors. What is their record away? 3-7. 3-7.
Yeah.
Washington Wizards are 8-4 at home and 3-6 away. Now, the Eastern Conference standings still early. We're only looking at 21 games. So what do we got? 60 games to go. Basically, we got 60 games to go. We can start projecting. The cutoff is where the Miami Heat are at right now. They're in 10th place. So we have the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, Washington Wizards, Atlanta Hawks, Brooklyn Nets, and Miami Heat, rounding out the top 10. And Miami's in there with a 10-11 record. Sheesh. Gosh.
2-7 away. 2-7 away. Well, at least they win some games at home.
Please, Chicago and New York, rise up. Rise up so you can push Miami down. We don't want to see them in the playoffs and have to endure that clutching and grabbing and flopping that always accompanies a Pat Riley team. Yeah, but that rounds it out. After that, the Chicago Bulls. And this is the biggest disappointment so far to me. It's the New York Knicks. I thought New York was going to be further up there. But some days they're on, and some days, they got beat by Dallas the other day. They got beat by Dallas. After the Celtics took care of Dallas and slapped them around, Dallas went south to play the Knicks and beat the Knicks. Jalen Brunson had a chance to win it twice. And I guess if I say he had a chance to win it twice, that means he didn't. That about sums up their season so far. They've had chances to make their mark on the NBA that they're going to be there, and I think it was Jalen Brunson's time to choke. But there's been other times for the other players, so they haven't found a player yet who wants to step up in the spotlight and make the darn shot at the end when it's counted. That's what they don't have an identity right now, and they're in the crossroads because when you get to a point and nobody on the team, has been able to step up and make that basket when it counts, it starts weighing on you. They need to get over that hump. They need to put up some games where they're blowing teams out by 15 to 20, or they need to get in a couple of games at the end where somebody is making that shot, and that's going to be their go-to guy. That's going to be the leader. They need to find out who their leader is going to be.
Well, they got to get some attitude first. They get some attitude about it. If you ain't got no kind of attitude about what you're doing.
They got
going through the motions.
They got Jalen, Brunson, and they got RJ Barrett. Who's the Julius Randle, And they got two more good players to round out the starters. So I think they have attitude, but attitude does not mean that you're going to win. I mean, attitude ain't going to make you be that guy who makes that last minute shot. Paul Pierce was a great last minute shot guy.
Oh yeah, but again, that attitude, he carried that arrogance that he was going to
He was
make it too.
arrogant.
You gotta know that you're gonna make these shots too. You can't just just like the kid that thinks he's better than LeBron now. What's his name?
The kid who made that shot?
Yeah.
He's better than LeBron last night.
He said LeBron need to come and show me he's better than me. I said, what?
LeBron ain't better than. Let me tell you something.
Dude,
LeBron,
he is. Well, he's played his years. LeBron's on the back burner now. So don't bring your young self out here trying to make a bunch of noise now.
Hold on. I'm on the kid side, everybody. Because if you're gonna bring your old butt out there, then you're gonna have to play. All right. Listen, if you want to be known for what you did, then you sit on the sidelines and let us all talk about what you did. But if you want to bring your butt out there, then you better come ready to play. Because I'm gonna talk to you like I'm gonna talk to everybody else there.
He should have played like Durant played last night.
Right. If you're gonna come out there, you can't rest on your laurels. Basketball is a competition, and there are a lot of people who have fallen in love with LeBron James who can't seem to get this past. It's a competition. Now, there was a time that Paul Pierce used to dominate LeBron James. His first 3 or 4 years, Paul Pierce dominated LeBron James. Then it changed. Basketball is a competition.
Yeah.
And either you bringing it or you can't.
And it evolves.
I can't feel sorry for you.
It never stops. It evolves and never stops.
It never stops. So, LeBron, if you're going to take yourself and put yourself out there in the court, when you can't do it anymore, expect people to talk about you, because that's what's going to happen.
Learn when to get off the evolving circle.
And that might be the lesson that he needs to take into his head right now.
It's my stop. What was the thing we used to pull on the bus? It's my stop. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. It might be time for you to get off the bus, LeBron, because listen, dude, I hate to tell you, but you're not playing any defense. I watched the game last night, and not only that was your guy. You took the weakest guy out there so you wouldn't have to score, and he still scored. LeBron, you're taking the weakest player out there every time, trying not to play any defense. You can't if you want your team to win, listen, I think I'm just belaboring the point, because every week I'm saying the same thing, and this week is not the Western Conference. I mean, Tuesday's not Western Conference time. I'm saving that for Thursday. We're talking about the Eastern Conference, and I think the Eastern Conference Player of the Week should be Jason Tatum.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Tatum is lighting him up.
Yeah. He got that flair of Kobe right now. He's going right to him. Yeah.
I don't want him hogging the ball like Kobe. I'm going to call him Boston. No. Kobe was a ball hog. Jason Tatum does not go out there looking to make difficult shots just because he wants to look whatever. That's Kobe. Kobe always had to make the thing more difficult than it had to be. Instead of just scoring the damn ball and passing it. He'd have Shaq out there, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. He'd have a boat, and he want to shoot the ball every time. Every time.
We won't call him that then. I'll take that one back.
Keep
it up, Tatum. Do your thing, baby.
Yeah, he's more Paul Pierce. He's more efficient. There's some games where he's just totally inefficient. Then you can call him Kobe. But most of the time, he's pretty much efficient. He's only gonna miss 6 or 7 shots, make most of his shots, be efficient, work around the basket and score. Jason Tatum is my NBA Player of the Week. Could be the NBA Player of the last month. Definitely for the last week, but he is lighting them up. He's doing it away. He's doing it at home. He's getting rebounds. He is leading the team. He's making great passes. And I know that, we can be construed as homers because we're talking about Boston and Jason Tatum, but league, you got to give it up. Here's a guy who should have won Rookie of the Year. You know who they gave Rookie of the Year to that year? Ben Simmons, a guy who scored no points last night. So the league has been biased against Jason Tatum for a while. He showed out his rookie year. He has taken the Celtics to the finals, the East Finals, I think 5 of the last 6 years. This kid has. He deserves this recognition. He had a bad finals last season, but he carried him. He was out injured. He was injured. They should have took him out, but nobody wants to talk about that. He played through it. He gutted through it. But Jason Tatum has carried this team. Even when they had Kyrie Irving on, he carried this team. Yeah.
He's really developed, man. Really, really nice.
Really nice. He can hit shots from each and every place. Now, in closing, anything you want to say? Mr. James, the floor is yours. I'm not going to say anything for the next 5 minutes. It's all yours. You just take it.
5 minutes?
All right. Minute and a half. You get a minute and a half.
Hey, I can't say enough about that Wizards game. My man, Porzingis. My man, he controlled that floor from beginning to end. He ran. A big man running like that is always a plus, man. You get a big man running, man, the team can't do nothing else but follow. So I think he did an outstanding job. Had a great game last night. And I, too, applaud Jason Tatum because he's come a long ways and he's distributing that ball, and it makes for everybody else distributing the ball as well. The passing is like outstanding. Outstanding. When you play that team ball, that's always my thing. It's teamwork makes the dream work, you know?
We're going to win together or we are going to lose together.
That's what we're going to do.
So
but a lot of times people don't want – sometimes they don't want to lose together. They want to start pointing fingers when you start losing. But, again, it's all team.
It's all team. It's all team. We're going to win together. We're going to lose together. So you can score 40 points and lose. We still lost. So which means you still lost, whoever scored that 40 points. So that means us guys who didn't score that 40, we're going to have to step up. And if you're Luka Doncic, you might have to pass that ball instead of scoring 40. Stop pounding that ball, as we talked about, pounding the ball into the ground. Which is what Luka does, similar to a guy. What was that guy's name that we were talking about earlier today? And he ended up with Detroit at one time. Anyway, pound the ball into the ground. Luka does that, and the ball is not moving. And Luka, guess what? When your team loses, you lose. That's right. You lose. Pounding the ball into the ground, you still lose. Now, that might work against the Knicks, but it's not working. It's not going to work against the Celtics and a good team. Just like it didn't work last year when you played Golden State. Have a nice day with that. Pass the ball. Let's get the ball out of your hands, Luka Doncic, so other people can score and that the ball can move around and that the team can start playing free. And you will get 20 to 30 points, but you won't be getting 40 points anymore. But it shouldn't matter because you will be winning. And winning is the most important thing that you want to do. If you're going to step out on the basketball court, you want to win. You're not stepping out there for points. You're stepping out there because you want your team to win. The fans want you to win. The city wants you to win. Little boys and little girls everywhere want you to win if they're for that team. That's it. Okay. Did I give you a minute? Did I give you a minute and a half? Do I have to cede back minutes? It's just like the Senate. You know, I'm the senator from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I want to cede my minutes to the Honorable Erick James. You have the rest of the floor, sir.
That's the fire in your heart, baby. That's all it is. The fire in your heart. Another one I want to give props to is Devin Booker.
Oh, my God.
Outstanding game last night. Outstanding game last night.
Devin, you came into the Boston Garden and scored 70 points one time, and it looked like nobody was guarding you. I watched the game. I don't know what they were doing, but you got 70 points. It looked pretty darn easy. Maybe one day you'll come over here, you'll come on Amazing Grace Sports Network, and you'll tell us, was it easy or was it not? Because it looked pretty easy from where I was standing. Of course, it was in my living room watching the game. I didn't go to that game, but it looked pretty darn easy. Anyway, he did. He scored 70 points in the Boston Garden one day. Yeah.
Still doing his thing. Good job last night.
Good job, Devin. With that, that's it?
That's it for me.
You're going to cede your minutes back to me? The Honorable Senator from Massachusetts cedes his minutes to the Honorable Senator from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. In the closing, listen, The NBA, thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave some comments. If you got any comments in here, anybody leave a comment? Anybody on to leave a comment? No comments. Now, I'm sure most of you disagree. Well, I know all of you Los Angeles fans disagree with me calling them the fakers. But if you want to say something about it, I'm going to tell you. You leave something in the chat room, I will contact you, and I will bring you on. And you can tell me why they aren't the fakers. And maybe you can tell me that LeBron is actually playing defense out there somewhere in the stratosphere, comosphere, whatever sphere he's in, Western Hemisphere, somewhere. I don't know which. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is that leave a chat, leave a comment. You can just chat anytime you want. It doesn't matter. We'll bring you on in a heartbeat. We got no problem with it. You really trust us. We come on Tuesdays, 1 o'clock, Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Guarantee you leave something here, we'll bring you on. And with that, we'll close out. Amazing Great Sports Network. He's Erick James. I am Clayt Morris. We do it the old-fashioned way, which is the only way we can do it. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching the podcast. We will see you on Thursday, NBA Thursday, where we talk about the Western Conference, which we'll be talking about the Los Angeles, whatever you might want to call them. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, bro.
Ciao, everybody.